Welcome back to Balls. I hope
Show
everyone
us your
out there is.
balls.
Yeah, show us your balls, and I hope you're having a good day. I hope that your balls are having a good day.
Be they puffles or orangs.
Puffles or what?
Orangs. You know, the kind of tasty ball that you cut up into little slices and you eat on the soccer field. Because somebody's mom brought them and some
Okay,
Capri Suns.
okay, but like Puffles from like Club Penguin?
Yeah. They are not edible, but they are
You're
round.
right. That's why I was confused. Well, yeah, exactly what you said. We should introduce ourselves. You go first, please.
No, you go first. I haven't thought of an adjective for myself this week yet.
Hmm. Well, I am Malachi. I use they them pronouns. I'm the superior host. I'm like Lake Superior in that sense.
And I am your bulbous host, Grace. I use she, her pronouns.
Bulbous is a good adjective. You do have me beat in this instance.
Yes, yes. You've stuck to superiority. Meanwhile, I have branched out into more diverse topics such as
Well, and like
bulbosity.
it's a thematic. It's the thematic adjective. I can't
I
compete
think
with
that's
that.
gonna be my new thing. Is I'm just gonna come up with a fun new adjective for myself every week starting now.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll see how long it takes for me to fall off of this train.
Well, this week we were thinking about talking about a little bit of Portal because what is an oval but like basically a ball?
Well, sure, but before we do that, how was your week? Did you do
Oh
anything
yeah, let's talk
interesting?
about our weeks. I played some Terraria yesterday.
I noticed there were like 50 billion people in the call.
We had our 50 billion people Terraria. We played some Calamity mod. I've not played very much Terraria modded. Have you?
I absolutely don't give a shit about Terraria anymore because every time I start a game, it falls apart because nobody is interested in continuing it after 2 days.
Yeah, that sucks. I used to really not like Terraria as much, just 'cause like the progression didn't suit me. But now I'm way more Terraria
Uh,
bit.
yeah, I've never had time to form an opinion because every time I start a game, it falls apart. Like I said,
That sucks.
yeah, it really
Well,
does.
what about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I started watching Better Call Saul. I'm on
Oh,
season
banger
2
show.
now.
That's better than Breaking Bad, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's got more Ike Ehrmanhout or Mike Armhand Mouth.
Exactly. Mike Armenmouth. He really is an awesome character.
It's
I
got
love
Lavelle Crawford's character, whose name I can never remember.
who the hell is Lavelle Crawford?
The big dude,
Oh yeah.
the pickpocket.
He's of course.
You should
Have you heard of
probably not
the?
be eating on the podcast. It's kind of weird.
No, I'm crunching a little bit. Sometimes you gotta crunch. It's circular shaped, so you have to be okay with it. Um, do you think that have you heard the theory that between Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, he ate oh my god, I don't remember his hero names of that show other than Saul. What what's the lawyer that works with Saul?
Kate?
Her name's Kate?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I feel like that's not true.
Let me look it up. Better Call Saul, the woman.
The woman.
Kim Wexler, not quite Kate,
Kim
but it was
Wexler.
close.
Okay, yeah,
I was a
yeah.
little thinking of Lost, I think.
That's fair. Yeah, have you heard the theory that Huel ate her in between the two shows?
What? Is that how he got so round?
That's why he got bigger. Is the how the
He
theory goes.
committed vor?
And that's why she's not there, right?
Maybe. That or she just fucking dies.
Well, I feel like that's gonna be revealed in the end of the show. You know?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm only on season 2. I've already been spoiled by finding out that her family is Chuck McGill, brother-in-law.
Mhm. Did you just figure that out now?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Um, it won't. You won't be spoiled. I think that spoilers. See, I decided to give Breaking Bad another rewatch because YouTube started shoving clips of Breaking Bad and
Well,
Better
that's
Call
what
Saul at
happened
me.
with me with Better Call Saul, but now it's showing me Sopranos clips because I've started watching Better Call Saul.
And then you're gonna watch The Sopranos.
Maybe once I finish Fargo.
Uh huh. Fargo too. You're really in
Well,
deep
I
with all
was
these TV shows.
I was getting Fargo clips on YouTube, so I started watching Fargo.
Well, I find that those clips are a really good way to sell me into
That's
the.
what got me watching Jingle Deck the Halls. Deck
Oh
the
my
Halls. I was
god!
about to say
You're gonna
Jingle All
list
the Way.
every TV show.
Deck
and
the Halls is
movie.
a movie. It's a
Yeah, I
Christmas movie
yeah.
that we talked about previously.
No, I remembered it.
You done anything else this week before I get to my second bit?
Oh, I was just gonna say further that I think that it's a really good way to get into those shows because I
Oh
think
yeah.
the small amount of spoilers from that really like gets you excited for the show.
Oh well, I've been waiting for the trial of Chuck McGill's custody forever.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because
anyways, you should tell me about your second thing.
I started playing Fallout with my friend Jimmy.
Which Fallout?
New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas. Wait, there's like a multiplayer for that?
No, just side by side.
Oh, just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What
are you thinking of Fallout New Vegas so far?
I've never been so itchy to play it. I always have a trouble with these sort of RPG type games.
Uh-huh.
The ones that have like the massive skill trees and a billion different quest lines.
Yeah.
Part of it's that I always want to do all of the quests. I want to empty my log.
Right.
But another part of it is that they're so large that sometimes I just stop being able to pay attention. Right. Which is why I can't play them alone. But when I have someone like a friend playing a second playthrough alongside me, it's a lot easier to focus on it because somebody else is reminding me about it. Because when they want to play, they're like, "Let's play because we're playing it together." And then I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah.
There's also some pretty cool guns in that one.
Yeah.
There's an M16 that looks like an FAL because of the wood furniture.
Oh right, the
service rifle.
Service rifle.
The NCR service rifle. That's the only one that's really notable to me right now, other than like I guess the 9mm submachine gun, which is just a fucking grease gun, an M3 grease gun from World War II. But like
I don't remember that one.
Look it up. It's a British weapon.
You said which one? No. I know what the grease gun looks like, but you said which one?
The 9mm submachine gun.
Oh, it's because I remember the 10mm one from Vegas.
Isn't the 10mm one more reminiscent of like a fucking
It doesn't look like a real. It's like it. As far as I can tell, the 10mm submachine gun from New Vegas just looks kind of like a fake gun. It's like really blocky in a way that doesn't look recognizable.
It looks like you mixed like too many things.
Yeah, because you could say like MP5 for like that curved magazine, right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, curved magazines are in other things, but like that.
Well, yeah, that's just what happens when you've got a tapered round. You have to stack them curved, else
you don't have to.
I mean, it'll be very inefficient, and they won't feed properly.
Yeah.
Like they won't feed properly. That's why they do that, so they feed properly. Yeah, it looks like a mixture of a bolt gun from 40K and like.
It does look kind of bolt gunny.
An MB5. But yeah, then you've got the 9mm submachine gun, which is literally just
it is just the grease gun. You're right about that. I really like the There's a bunch of fun pistols in New Vegas. The revolvers are fun.
I've been using primarily the 357 cowboy repeater.
Mm-hmm.
Because I fucking love lever actions. And I've also been using the service rifle when I have ammo for it, as well as the incinerator and the 9mm pistol when I have to. I've also been using the caravan shotgun.
Right. It's just so powerful to give you right away.
Yeah.
The 9mm pistol is one of those pistols that I'm a fan of in New Vegas.
I mean, it's just a 1911, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, I like the 1911.
Doesn't the 1911 shoot 45, though?
I think it does shoot 45. You must be able to make a 1911 shoot 9mm. There's someone has done that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely conversions and shit, but primarily it does shoot 45. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there's a version of the 1911 that was made for movies that shoots 9mm because blank firing 45 is not very reliable or something like that.
Well, blanks can still hurt.
Well, sure, but I'm more talking about the reliability of the round.
Oh, I see.
That's besides the point. We were not talking about real guns. We're talking
Have
about.
you had any
But no, actually.
fun quests? Do you have a favorite quest so far?
I kind of liked getting the lady who runs the hotel's head blown off by Boone.
Damn. Okay. That's about it?
I mean, I'm only so far into the game.
That's true.
I'm doing the Come Fly With Me quest right now.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
The Rocket Center?
Yeah. I love Come Fly With Me.
Alright. Speaking of guns.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a game called Portal?
I have heard of a game called Portal. Tell me more.
It's got balls in it in the shape of fucking Stephen Merchant.
Stephen Merchant?
Yeah, he plays Wheatley.
That was... You're right. I was very confused, but you're right that it is in the shape of Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, it's just a very tall man-shaped ball.
Actually. That's a Portal 2, actually, though.
Yeah, but it's the same
Portal.
series.
That's a good point.
I'm talking about the series, not the game.
You have a separate experience in Portal than I do, because I have not played the multiplayer levels.
I haven't.
That's not true. I have played the
either.
multiplayer levels, but not the player-made ones.
No, you've never played the workshop levels?
Yeah.
I've only
But
played
you
a
have,
few.
right? Well, what did you think of them from the ones you played?
Some of them were good. Some of them sucked ass. So it's your pretty standard level maker.
You don't have anything more specific? I guess it might have been a while ago. I don't know how recent it was for you.
I mean, I don't really play Portal anymore because every time I try to, the people stop being interested.
Yeah.
You know, pretty standard experience for me. I just have friends that are shit for playing games.
The Portal games are fun single player.
Yeah. They got good campaigns.
I had only played the Portal 2 single player recently because previously my brother and I had been playing through the multiplayer campaign.
I didn't know you had a brother.
I do have a brother.
Interesting.
And we didn't complete that though, so I have not seen the end of the multiplayer campaign. That was a long time ago too.
I've watched gameplay of it. I think I don't remember who I watched play it.
It has some crazy parts. You know the parts where it's like you're no longer in a test site and now you have to put a disc in a thing?
Yeah.
I was so terrible at those. Just no idea how to do those parts at all.
It's because you're a loser.
Well, it was I was young and my brother was young and we had to figure out how to work together when we both barely understood what we were doing. It's harder than you think.
No, it's not. Just be smart.
do your own Portal 2 multiplayer speedrun and then we'll talk.
Yeah, I'll do it single-handedly with 2 controllers.
Do it? I'd love to see it.
It'd probably be a lot easier than trying to communicate with people that don't know what they're doing.
I think you're right that probably you at fully grown age versus me and my brother as kids.
Yeah, I'm as old as I'll ever get. I'm never gonna age again.
Yeah.
Fully grown.
Powerful ability. Well, what do you think about how Portal and Portal 2 connect to the other Valve games?
I don't really care.
You don't really care?
Yeah, I mean...
You don't even think it's a little neat?
Ooh, the Borealis is in Half-Life 2. Oh!
I just think it's kind of neat.
I mean, yeah, I guess. You just haven't done anything with the universe, so it's hard to be excited about it.
That's fair. That's true. They don't really... They keep them mostly separate. It's just small cameos.
When they bring in a new Spider-Man into the Marvel universe, I'm hype as hell. When I was watching... Have you seen Dr. Strangle?
No.
You want to? You cool with spoilers?
Go right ahead.
Spoilers for Dr. Strangle in the multiverse of Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
When they fucking went into the new dimension later, the new universe later, and were like hanging out, and then he gets kidnapped and taken into custody, and he's talking to the Illuminati, which is that group's that world's Avengers.
Way to say it.
It's a Sam Raimi movie, so it's dark as shit.
Okay.
First off,
okay, stop. Let's go back a little bit because I don't understand what's going on at all. So in the movie, Doctor Strange goes to a different multiverse. He's in the multiverses. He goes to a different universe.
Yes. And he's
in
trying to
this
save
universe-
a kid whose power is that she can travel the multiverse.
Okay, and so she's like bouncing around the multiverse, and he's like, I gotta go help her.
Well, no, he's trying to help her, but then they end up bouncing around the multiverse.
Oh, I see.
All of this is Wanda Maximoff being like, I want my kids, because she's fucked up, you know? She's not all good in the head. But who isn't?
Okay, so then they go to a universe in which the Avengers is like a shadowy force.
Well, no, it's not the Avengers. It's the Illuminati. I just compared them to the Avengers because they're the secret force that runs everything.
Wait, but they are the Illuminati. They're not superheroes.
They are superheroes.
They are superheroes.
Yes. You got
They're
Captain
actually
America.
called the Illuminati?
Yeah. You got Captain America, who's a girl and also not America because England, and she's really cool and like really pretty and awesome and stuff. But then she gets full on Green Goblin, literally. Like she gets cut in half by her shield. And they do it in the style of Green Goblin because it's a Sam Raimi movie and a Marvel movie, and it's funny.
Cool.
Mr. Fantastic, the guy with the stretchy limbs, he gets unraveled like a fucking rag doll. Just pull the thread and it just go.
Wait, go back. Who was that got unraveled?
Mr. Fantastic?
Mr. Fantastic.
From a Fantastic Four?
Yeah, got it.
There's a guy whose power is when he talks, it like fucking resonates with your skull and explodes it. And he got neoed, like his mouth got taken away.
That's like, wait,
and
that's
then
like,
he tried to yell and his head exploded on the inside.
I think
and
I
it
know
went
that
all
guy.
mushy and he fell over.
That guy's
He had a tuning fork on his hat.
There's my dad had a shirt that had like a bunch of those heroes. That guy's like Bolt or something, right? Like Black Bolt.
Yeah, something like that.
And he or one of the other guys had a very goofy. It was probably not this guy. He had like a goofy like U on his head.
Huh.
And
Magneto?
So it was not Magneto.
Anyway.
Black Bolt is in what group? The Inhumans. So then
there was all of these people get introduced before they die, by the way. So they're getting introduced, and then you hear the fucking, you know, the X-Men motif, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you hear that, and then you see this gigantic fucking yellow mechanism, and then this bald guy, and you're like, I know you. That's Patrick Stewart. You wanna know how he dies?
Wait, they got because it's like they have
Professor
X.
X.
Have Professor X? No way. Okay.
You wanna know how he dies?
How does he die?
He's messing around in the mind of the body that so there's this thing called dreamwalking where you can project into yourself in a different universe. You can project in your own body in a different universe, and Scarlet Witch is inside of a different universe as Wanda Maximoff, and he goes in and he's trying to get the original one out so he can, like, you know, boot the other one from the host, and then he gets his neck snapped in the mind, which, so he basically gets his neck snapped from within. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then just slumps over in his chair. It's like, how could you kill Patrick Stewart?
Mm-hmm.
He's so perfect.
Why do they kill all these people?
To show Wanda Maximoff doesn't give a shit.
Oh, I see. Wanda's just killing people.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe Black Bolt does have a U on his forehead. He does. What
he has
the
a tuning fork on his forehead.
Okay, it looks more like a U.
It's a fucking tuning fork, you dipshit.
In the shirt that I recognize him from, it looked much more U-shaped.
Right, but it's a tuning fork. Doesn't change the fact that he got his mouth taken away, tried to scream, and then exploded his head's insides.
Got it.
It just went all mushy.
People died, is not all that exciting to me.
It was when I watched it. I'm just not good at explaining
No, exciting to you. It's not exciting to me.
Maybe if you watched it instead of getting it explained.
I think you underestimate how little I care about the Marvel movies at this point.
That's because you're lame.
That's because I'm lame.
This is all to say, though, that they do cool things with the universe. I'll be excited about it. Valve sucks.
That's not true.
They haven't made a game, like a proper game.
No.
In how long?
Okay, I'll give you that, and I don't like what they're doing now, which is just like continuing CS:GO at the cost of like everything else. Like TF2 has not got an update in what, like 5 years? I think that might be a slight exaggeration.
There's been minor updates, but there has been a big update.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Pyro update was... That's a lie.
2017.
Oh, so I'm right, 5 years.
I think so.
Oh, I found the first Pyro update because I should have looked for Jungle Inferno instead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2017.
Yeah, October 16th, 2017. So it's coming up on 5 years.
Yeah.
And all they've done since then is add community-created content.
Don't forget localization. They've adjusted the localization.
And so that really frustrates me. But I think that you're wrong in the sense that what Marvel has done, admittedly I haven't watched stuff post...
Well, like, Marvel's continuing to do stuff, though, is what I'm saying.
I agree with you that they're continuing to do stuff, but I'm not going to give them benefit. Like I'm not going to give them praise just for, like, doing something. Because, like, they're going to do something. Cause
right, but they're doing stuff, and it's not bad. It's kind of good.
I disagree. I think that the endgame stuff was, like, boring. It was just boring.
What are you talking about, boring?
I just don't care.
Were you watching the same movie I was?
There was one moment in Endgame that I don't remember if it's Endgame or whatever the other ones are called, where when everyone was getting dusted, people were like...
That was Infinity War, you
dumbass. Okay, whatever.
Dumpus.
That's in the same area. In Infinity War, when everyone was getting dusted, people were cynical because it's like they're all going to come back, and that's true. But there was some very good emotional stakes at that point because everyone's dying and everyone's like distraught over that, and I think that was like the one moment where I felt anything during those movies.
You didn't feel anything when you watched Iron Man get all explodified?
He got all explodified?
Yeah. When he did the reverse snap and fixed everything, and then just all this, and then he just died.
He didn't explode though.
He got explodified. He caught on fucking basically on fire, but he just got fucking gamma ray burns.
Okay, well, I don't remember that at all because I just didn't care. He died, and, like, I just don't care.
That's fucked up of you. What about when Cap caught the Mjolnir?
That, like, he caught Mjolnir, okay?
No, he summoned it and then caught it.
He's able to do it.
That was badass.
I just, like... Was it?
Yes!
It's like, it's neat that they have decided that Cap can use Mjolnir, I guess, but it's not like... I don't care. What are the stakes there? It's just like, oh, now we're gonna watch an action scene. And I'm so bored of all of the Marvel action scenes.
They're good, though.
I like them in one instance, and that is, I like them in, what's it called? The Spider-Man movies sometimes have more interesting action, because it's got, like, web slinging, rather than just, like, let's punch someone and, like, throw my shield at them. Or, like, hit you with a big hammer.
I think you're just, like, cynical because you've watched too much where it was just one director for too long. They've been diversifying their directors. You got, since Taika Waititi did
I'll give Taika
Thor.
Waititi that he actually makes enjoyable movies, and that's the difference between him and a lot of the other Marvels.
Well, Sam Raimi did the most recent Multiverse of Madness. There's been different directors. Somebody else did the Spider-Man movie entirely. They've been diversifying their directors recently, and it's paying off.
They did
You're like, you're just too cynical.
Well, they did like the second Spider-Man movie. I don't think that was that good. I haven't seen the most recent one.
The second one was better than the first one.
That's just not true. That's just like fully wrong. The first one was like a nice Spider-Man story, and the second one is like, this shit sucks. It doesn't suck. It was like a 6 out of 10.
I think the first one was more boring because there just wasn't as much going on. Like, sure, you got Michael Keaton, but that's it.
It's just about the actors for you.
It was just
That
less
movie had a lot of heart. The first movie had a lot of heart. It had like that one scene.
Sure,
where,
but heart doesn't matter if you can't use it.
The heart is the thing that I care about. I care that the movie is like. I care about the heart of the movie. It is the thing I care about. It. There's nothing.
What I said is the heart doesn't matter if they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And they didn't really do much with it.
They did.
They cut a boat in half. Okay, fucking Phil Swift.
They cut a boat. That's not like the extent of the movie. And the boat thing, I disagree with you. I think it's cool to have Spider-Man be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna like do this crazy shit.
You want a good boat scene with crazy shit?
Yep.
Watch fucking Michael Clark Duncan be a goddamn good guy in Batman The Dark Knight.
Michael Clark Duncan. Who do you play in that?
A prisoner.
Just a prisoner?
Yeah. He played the one who threw the remote detonator out the window of the boat.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Sure. I like that movie.
That's a better boat scene.
Better boat scene. Okay, so
that movie was just Daddy Issues the movie.
Do you like that scene in whatever Spider-Man it was with where he like stops the train?
I mean, that's different though.
It's the same scene. It's the exact same scene.
It's not the same scene because
yes, it is.
What caused the boat to fall apart?
I don't remember at this point.
Exactly.
Okay, what caused the train to be going too fast?
I think it was Doc Ock being shitty. Yeah?
That's it.
It was Doc Ock. He was like, I'm going to kill all these people, and you're going to have to do something about it. And he's like, I'm going to do something about it. And meanwhile, Peter was just like, I fucked up. I activated Peter put the boat in half.
Okay. And that's why I don't think that changes it. It makes it, it's like he realizes, oh fuck, I have to do something about the thing I just messed up.
Sure, but like, it doesn't feel as good because he's not saving people for the sake of saving people. He's saving people because he done fucked up. The second one's just much better.
It's him like realizing that he has the responsibility to save those people, and he's doing it.
Sure, but in the second one, it's not daddy issues; it's grief, and I can like relate to that more.
Daddy issues.
Think
it's not daddy issues. It's about him figuring out his relationship with being a hero.
Sure, but also daddy issues in the form of Tony Stark.
And that's like that totally turns you off. The fact it's not daddy.
It's just not such a good motivator.
I just totally disagree with you. You're just wrong. That movie has a lot of heart. The second one, there's parts of it I like, but overall,
the whole thing's about him dealing with the loss of Tony, also as well as like fucking coming to terms with like being a superhero and having a life.
I feel like that's not true. It's maybe it is kind of about it is about the loss of Tony. You're right, but I don't know. I don't care about the loss of Tony that much.
Yes, because you're a monster.
I'm not a monster.
You are.
No, okay, I do care about it in the sense that it is good emotional stakes to have him be like, this shit sucks. And it is a meaningful scene when he's like, damn, Tony Stark, people cared about him, and I like knew him personally, and like, I cared about him, and he's dead. And like, how do you live in a world without someone who you cared about that much? And I think that means something to me.
And then like
but like a random slugfest where Tony Stark happens to die during it does not mean something to me.
I just don't see how like the driving force behind the second one is a guy who's trying to take over the world by using drones, but also trying to turn the entire world against Spider-Man. And then succeeding. That's just more interesting to me than a guy with fucking technology that he stole. Yeah, the second one. Far From Home.
Okay, I disagree with you because the second one's message is so fucking muddled.
I'm not talking about the message. I'm talking about like what happens in the movie.
That is the message.
No.
The message is what the work of art is showing you. and that is what happens in the movie.
That's not true.
What is it then?
The message is like what the movie's trying to tell you through what it shows you, but what it shows you isn't inherently the message. That's taking all the nuance away.
But what? How do you form? I disagree with you, but it doesn't matter. The point is that like.
That's like going to the movie theater. Somebody holds up a card that says "Be good to people" and then walks away. That's what you paid $12 to see.
And you're saying that'd be the message, but it wouldn't be.
I'm saying that's what it sounds like you're saying the message is about movies. Like they have to hold up a card that says "Be good to people."
You know, they don't need to hold up a card. It's that they're showing you, and then you have some message that you take away from it.
Sure, but you know what? I still think the second one's better. I'm still willing to argue with you for it.
It's so muddled. The way that it's like, I think it's interesting. Kind of, it's like this is clearly bad that Tony gave like a kid like not nuke, like just instant kill powers, and it's weird that he has them, and it muddles the message. And that movie was weird. That movie had a lot of weirdness, and I don't like who's the dude who doesn't shower who played the villain in that movie?
What?
You know the guy who played the villain in the second one. He doesn't
Yeah,
shower.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
You said the dude who doesn't shower, and I was really confused because I don't know him for that.
He doesn't shower. There's like a thing about it. Okay. I can find it. Jake Gyllenhaal shower. Jake Gyllenhaal has clarified that he does shower. Wait, what was his original comments though? 1 second.
Okay. This is like really off topic.
No, this is very important to note that Jake Gyllenhaal. He says we naturally clean ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, I don't remember I can't find his original comments. But his original cover is that he's from like another
dimension,
like reality, right? Yeah. And he's like, oh, back there, they really fucking got us with these like elemental forces. They did it.
But
and then
I know
it turns
how to
out,
beat them.
And then it turns out that he's like lying about that, which feels very weird to me. To be like the main villain is someone who is like saying that like some like basically a climate change analog is real, but it's actually not. I think that's weird.
Well, no, the whole thing is that he's deceiving everybody, trying to turn the world against Spider-Man so he can be the hero.
Okay, but does that change that he's got like a climate change analog that like he's lying
about? It's not really a climate change analog, is it?
Yes, it's about like elemental forces destroying the world. In what way is that not a climate change analog?
Sure, but those elemental forces already exist within the Marvel canon.
I don't think that changes whether or not it's a climate change analog.
You're just it's not about climate change, the movie. It's about fucking
No, you're right.
corruption.
I think that this is just one part of it that's very weird.
It's just that is what they went with because that's like what was easiest to do in that environment, I guess.
They could have done a million other things. They could have had Mysterio do a million other things.
Okay, he pulls out a gigantic fucking bull that rages through the streets of Italy. It makes sense to have a water elemental in Venice.
It could have been like aliens are showing up and they're doing this instead of them being like elemental forces.
Sure, but it's much easier what he was doing because what he was doing was creating a massive projection using drones. And you can make a massive water elemental using the drones much easier than you can make a bunch of small aliens.
No. You could even have it look exactly the same way. You just have him say, "Oh, it's these like aliens that are able to do this. Like they can control the elements like that." Maybe that'd still be weird. I don't know. The point is, it's weird. There's no way you can convince me that is.
You're caught up on the wrong thing here.
What should I be caught up on instead?
Literally anything else.
The movie is weird. I think the way that it's like, oh, but like, Peter is the right person to have drone strike ability, when that's like not true. Peter should not have drone
I'm
strike
pretty sure that
ability.
the
No
drone
one-
strike
no
thing
one
was
really
just a
should have-
gag once.
Oh, it's just a gag once? It's a weird gag.
Yeah, but Tony Stark's a weird guy.
It's not okay. Wait, you can't pass off the drone strike thing as isn't it so goofy that he gave this kid drone strike glasses? It's like fucked up.
You know what?
I think if anything, it could have been interesting if you looked at the way that Spider-Man misses like Tony Stark, right? Like he's like, oh shit, he's dead, and this sucks. But then also like look more at some of the like other parts of what he did, right? Because he made these drone strike glasses, and like that was not a good choice. That was a show of bad judgment. And then like
They weren't drone strike glasses. They were AI glasses that had the capability of drone strikes. By the way, I'd like to make sure that you know that.
what's the importance in like distinguishing that?
If their sole purpose was drone strikes, then yeah, that'd be weird. But they were made for Tony, so he had a personal assistant, and it makes sense that he would have like if he's got the ability to do a drone strike, it makes sense that they're controllable from there, right? Because like,
So you're saying then it's also normal to give them to a child
well, he was
with
giving
the
them to
drone strike
Peter because
capabilities.
like
Because Peter
he
should have
gave him
these
the
drone
fucking
strike
suit. He
capabilities.
gave him the Iron Spider suit that has kill mode.
Yeah, that was also a bad choice. He shouldn't.
Sure,
have
it was a
kill mode in
bad
that.
choice, but it's what he was doing.
I think
He didn't
that-
make the glasses specifically for Peter. He just gave them to Peter when he died.
Well, I think that all of these, really, he shouldn't have had drone strike glasses for himself either.
He was a weapon manufacturer, okay?
You're right, and I think that was like the drone strike glasses were a part of that, and I think he shouldn't have had them. I think
They
that
aren't
was
drone
fucked
strike
up for him to have.
glasses. They're like fancy Alexa for your face.
They're Alexa that has drone strike capabilities, and nowhere
You're
else
telling
can
me
you
Amazon doesn't have drone strike capabilities?
Okay, when I buy the Alexa and I say, Alexa, please drone strike my next door neighbors, nothing happens.
Great, you just killed half the population of the universe.
Checkmate liberals. Checkmate liberals. Anyways, I think that all of these things that Tony did with the drone strike glasses and stuff were bad, but I think that could be an interesting thing to use as like, let's look at his legacy, right? Because like he did do like lots of good. He like did the reverse snap, and that was pretty good. Everyone liked that. But like he did have like a little bit of a muddled legacy, and I think looking at that a bit more than the movie did could have been really interesting. But instead, it's like, let's just like give Peter the drone strike glasses, and he needs to have the drone strike glasses because no one else should have them. Which is true, no one else should have them, but also like that doesn't mean he should have them.
You know that. Wait, doesn't fucking Mysterio end up with them?
Yeah, he gets them for a little bit.
Yeah, that's like part of the conflict. Is that
Well, because
bad
it's trying to
people
be
are able
like,
to harness this technology sometimes.
yeah, well, that's the sense in which I think no one should have the drone.
The
strike
same thing
glasses.
happened in the first one. Are you saying that all of the Avengers shit shouldn't exist because people gonna take them?
So I think
Because
all
Michael
of-
Keaton did that once?
Okay, we can go into the superhero stuff, and that's a very complicated discussion. I'd need to work through that.
Because like that's literally what the Vulture did. Is he took shit that like was not supposed to be in the hands of.
Yeah, like random alien tech and stuff. I
Yeah.
think that that's a super interesting.
His whole
version of the
motivation was
Vulture.
to steal from the Avengers when they moved out of
Steal
Stark
from
Towers.
the Avengers is a little bit.
He was trying to take down the aircraft so he could take the stuff out of it.
You're right. I think it's a really interesting portrayal of Vulture in the first movie because it's like showing that like to some degree it like I totally understand like if you're like he's like a construction worker or something, right?
He works for the Department of fucking mess cleaning.
Yeah, they're like basically construction workers because they're fixing everything.
They're not construction workers. They're basically sanitation experts.
They're not sanitation though. They're like
They're-
using cranes and shit.
They're
much more like-
they're not construction workers because they're not building things; they're taking things away.
But they're much more like construction workers. Like they're gonna have the same equipment and they're gonna.
They're more like scrappers.
Scrappers.
Yes.
Like a common job that people.
It's
have?
people who scrap things.
Is a construction employee. Oh, this is scraper. Never mind. 1 second. A scrapper. You're right, it is kind of like a scrapper, but I think describing a scrapper as similar to a construction worker is
I mean, they're more like a ship breakers than anything.
Ship breakers?
Yes.
Hard space shipbreaker wiki.
No, actual ship breakers.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that.
Just search shipbreaker job.
I did shipbreaker career and I'm only getting video games. Shipbreaking is a type of ship disposal. Okay, you're right that it is more like this than it is like construction workers in the sense that they're not constructing anything. But I do think that the comparison to construction workers is useful in the sense that they do a lot of similar things. Anyways, I think it's very interesting to take these construction workers who are
the
like
Department of Corrections is what it is.
Department of Corrections.
Yes.
And that's not like it's not like jail.
No.
The Pennsylvania Department of Corrections is
Oh wait,
responsible
hang
for
on.
operating the state prison
Hang
system.
on. Yep. I searched it and this looked like what it was and then I got fucked up. It's not that. Okay.
It's okay.
Cut that one out.
I'm cutting it out of the episode. It's cut out.
Department of Reclamation? I don't know.
That's a thing. They seem to be about power and stuff.
I'm trying to figure out who the name is.
It's about dams and stuff, it seems. They're doing water. They're doing hydroelectric power.
Goddamn homecoming and fucking what's the damn scroll down and department
Damage control.
Department of Damage Control?
Yep.
The dock?
This is a Marvel thing. Because then it's not real. Anyways, I think it's interesting that you have people. I'm going to continue to compare them to construction workers because construction workers is something that people see every day, so they're probably going to be a little bit familiar
They're
with what.
still not much like it though.
They're pretty. I think they're like it. I think you're right to say that it's not construction. It's like the opposite of construction, but I think it is similar.
It's similar in that street cleaning is similar to janitorial work.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
is to
happy
say
with
not
that.
much at all.
They're. Oh my god. Okay, wait,
No.
it's not like that.
Like road paving is the janitorial work.
That's not true. Okay, can you? I will stop trying to say they're similar. I will say one thing. Do you think that they're going to use a lot of the same equipment as construction workers?
I use the same equipment as a fucking contractor sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm a contractor.
Okay, I'm going to stop arguing with this. To all the viewers, I think that it's useful to compare some of the things that they were doing to construction workers.
Well, they're not construction workers, though.
I'm not going to keep
specifically
arguing with this.
something
We're moving
else.
on. You don't think they're construction workers. I think it's useful to compare them to the construction workers.
Well, they're their own independent
I
things,
know they're
honestly.
not construction workers. I think it's useful. And clearly, they're not doing that great. I mean, the city's fucked around them. So they're, clearly not in a great situation. And from that, they're going to, do what they can to, have, a not shitty life. And even if that means doing immoral things, like I'm gonna like take this alien technology and like sell it to the highest bidder.
Yes, and then also use it myself to kill people and steal
And
more
also use
things.
it to myself. And I think clearly that's wrong. It's very easy to say that that's wrong. But I do think it's understandable in the sense that like if you're in like such a shitty situation, like where you have to do that or like feel like you kind of have to do that, like I can understand how a person would make that decision. I think it's an interesting portrayal of Vulture because of that.
Right, but it's not event. It's not. He just does it because he's mad at the Avengers.
I do dislike the way they move it to being mad at the Avengers. I like it better when he's more mercenary with his like uh his choices because it's less about being mad about the Avengers and more like trying to get paid.
Sure, but like the only reason he started doing it is because he's mad at the
Um, I'm with you there. I like it better when they focused more on it being like a mercenary thing, which
Avengers. They
they
didn't
did to
really.
some degree. They did to some degree. It was
Not
like they were
really.
showing how like these
One of
guys are
his
getting paid.
one of his subordinates was doing that. He wasn't.
I think that that's right.
The best part about the first Spider-Man is the
Yep.
dude who wants to build that one technology and he gets denied the whole time. He's like fucking Scrat from Ice Age.
The best part of the Spider-Man is actually, I like the Scrat comparison. Big fan of the Scrat comparison. What about when they got Childish Gambino?
I mean, Donald Glover's cool and all, but like,
Pretty good actor. I like his acting.
wasn't he supposed to be Prowler?
Was he supposed to be Prowler? Oh, I did see something about him. Something. Oh, also known as Prowler. Yes. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be Prowler.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Prowler outside of the best superhero film ever made. Spider-Verse.
I mean,
You mean?
he's in the video game too when he plays Miles Morales. He's just
Yeah.
Miles. He's just Miles' uncle.
In the Wait, in what?
In Spider-Man, all of Spider-Man, the Prowler is Miles Morales' uncle.
Okay. Yeah. I still don't know all that much about Prowler. I could tell you a lot more about different Spider-Man villains. I could talk more about the funny lizard guy. I know his real name. You don't need to tell me. I know a lot more about Kraven the Hunter. You know how Kraven the Hunter is getting a movie?
No, because I don't know who that is.
You don't know Kraven the Hunter? Kraven the Hunter is a large Russian guy, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot you to death, Spider-Man. I'm gonna use my gun abilities.
Yeah,
If
no.
you search up Kraven the Hunter, you're gonna see some very goofy images. He's gonna have like a vest that's like made out of like, it looks like a lion's whole face was skinned for it, and it's goofy looking, and he's goofy looking, and I love him. He's just a funny guy. I'm a huge fan of him. He's like brothers with Chameleon, I believe. Chameleon. I'm pretty sure they're brothers. He's great. You want to know his powers and abilities? He
Oh.
just eats jungle herbs repeatedly to get superhuman physical abilities. And then he's also just like really athletic and stuff.
I don't think he's that cool.
You don't think he's that cool? He's fucking hilarious. Do you see what this guy looks like? He's so serious all the time, but then he's like the goofiest dude ever. He's wearing like leopard print leggings while he's like dancing around.
He's just
He's-
like an obnoxious version of the hitman from the first season of Fargo.
Hitman Far. Okay, you're gonna. Do you mean Wes Wrench? Which one do you mean? Do you mean the 2006 one? He's pretty goofy looking here. He's much funnier than this guy. I promise you that.
Yeah, him and the guy that he works with.
Craven is an awesome villain. One of the best of all time. One of the best to ever do it.
Sure, but is he a deaf guy with a fucking leather jacket with tassels?
He has way better drip than that guy that you're talking about right now.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Look at any image of him.
I did.
See the drip?
It's shit.
It's shit. Have you seen the drip? He's wearing like leopard print pants. He's fucking dripped to the nines.
It's too much. It's too gaudy.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at
this.
I
know. I saw. It's
look at this
bad.
specific image. What? How do you not like this?
Because it looks bad. Orange is a bad color.
Orange is a. You know what? I can't disagree with you there, and that's why the drip is so much more immaculate. He fucking owns that orange so perfectly.
I think you deserve to be punched severely.
Damn, that's a fucked up thing to say just because Kraven the Hunter is more dripped out than some, like, boring dude who's, like, wearing, like, the, like, lamest fucking leather, like, tasseled leather jacket. He's got the fucking teeth. Do you see that, like... Oh, he doesn't have the necklace in that one. Sometimes he has, like, a funny necklace. You know what I'm talking about.
The other guy's Grady Numbers.
What?
Grady Numbers. He's the guy that works with Wes Wrench.
Grady Numbers. This guy looks very serious.
He's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a very homoerotic sort of vibe about the pair.
They seem to both be the same archetype a little bit. From the images that I see, just because they both look to be imposing, quiet dudes.
Well, one of them's deaf.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about quiet, you know? Yo, I found Fargo fanfiction already.
Good. I mean, it has to exist. It's very queer.
Adventure, blood, fanfiction. Okay, this isn't necessarily queer.
Yeah, but it's fanfiction. Most fanfiction is pretty queer.
Wait, what is... Cast list? What? I don't want to sign into... What is... Profile? What am I reading? I don't want to sign into Prologue. Oh god, there's so much writing. Why does Wattpad as a site suck so bad? I've never been on Wattpad before.
I don't know.
Have you been on Wattpad?
No.
It sucks.
I'm sure it does.
To be continued, last updated June 19th, 2017.
Wow.
Fuck.
Kid Scrooged.
Oh god, I fucking... This is fucked up! There's like one chapter written.
Alright, I have one observation to make before we close this episode.
Yeah, give me the observation.
We may as well stop saying we're going to make episodes about things because we are shit at sticking to the topic.
We should... I like it. I like the way that we do it. It makes the naming for the episodes easier for me too, because it, like, what do I title this episode? I could title it about Marvel stuff, I guess, but that's boring. I'm gonna title it something like, in which the hosts do not talk about Portal 2.
Sure, yeah, I guess just in which they don't talk about, and then what it was originally supposed to be.
It makes it a lot easier, especially, like, last episode was a lot more widely, like, we were moving topics to topic.
Well, we did talk about Flash games. So you could say in which they talk about Flash games.
But, like, you're right that that's useful, but, like, if we have a week, which I think some of our weeks have been, where we talk about, like, basically, like, just, like, we keep jumping, there's no, like, dominant topic, but we didn't talk that much about, like, one that we plan to talk about, that's a good way to do it. I think it's been going great.
I think
I'm going to talk about Kraven the Hunter every episode from now on. You said your thing's the adjective thing. Mine is I'm going to talk about Kraven the Hunter.
And then I'm going to find your house and I'm going to take your head off.
You know, if you did that, you'd be kind of Craven the Hunter-esque. You know what I'm saying?
Except no, because then I take my own head off, so I don't have to live with that.
Craven the Hunter, you know, not too far away from having committed suicide in the comics. So, you know, kind of Craven the Hunter-esque of you.
I'm gonna defile your corpse.
Kind of like a dung eater
You'll
from
never
Elden Ring.
be able to go to. You'll never be able to leave.
That's just like
You'll
the
be stuck as a
dung
ghost.
Eater. That's just like the loathsome dung eater from Elden Ring.
That's for this week, folks. Be sure to send us an email at ballpod.show@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us an email. Show us your balls.
Yeah. And don't forget to desecrate a corpse this week.
Don't forget.
That's your homework.
That's your homework.
Desecrate the nearest corpse.
Nearest. Gotta be nearest.
Make one if you have to.
Try not to make one for the challenge.
Bonus points if you desecrate your own corpse.
If you
I don't know how you
do
could do that. Do we have any dead listeners out there?
To all you dead listeners, we respect you. I appreciate that you're using your time not being dead, but instead listening to this podcast.
They came back from the dead just to listen to this podcast. The
That's
most
actually hell.
disappointing use of your unfinished business contract ever.
That's what they have people talk about purgatory, and that's because the podcast hadn't been released yet. So that they thought they were in purgatory, but really they were in hell. You know?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because now they have to listen to it. Now it's hell. We're gonna make every episode worse than the previous one, so that it's like hell. That's my promise to you, listeners.
Well,
Anyways, adios.
Auf Wiedersehen.